Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to share with you a recent fishing trip that might have just been my best fishing trip ever in the month of October. I'm going to share and talk a little bit about it. Then I'm going to share and talk a little bit about another good fishing trip from October and let y'all guys decide which one is my best one, because I'm right now kind of not just thinking about it as in I don't know which one was better, okay? And so I'm just going to share with you guys this one I just experienced a couple days ago. It was unbelievable. Just one of those days that you kind of don't always get to have, and those tough days really make you appreciate this day more, okay? So guys, we're going to get into it today on this video. Thank you guys for watching and joining and being a part of it. Okay guys, really quick though, I'm going to share with you about my podcast, Real Life and Fishing, okay? It's streamed on all your major podcast platforms and on YouTube, okay? Episode 7 just came out today. Man, go check it out. If you're driving down the road at work or working out and want to just listen to something, or on your way to your next fishing trip, hey, go give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Okay guys, now about this fishing trip, and you're actually going to be able to see some of the footage on this channel and on the Bass Fishing Declassified channel. So I just went out to a lowland reservoir lake, and I had already a video filmed in mind that's going to be one of those instructional style videos that we do with Fish the Moment. I'm going to put that one on this channel. It's going to be a great video about how to find offshore spots on lakes without contour lines, but even with contour lines, I do some good teaching to kind of help you think on why the fish go where they go, okay? So it's a pretty neat video I had kind of in mind, been wanting to do, and so that won't be on this channel. Then the other part, one other part of the fishing day, went out there, caught them on a fall pattern, and I'm going to make that video and put it on the Declassified channel. Some good teaching in it as well. And so guys, during this fishing trip, on this fishing trip on this day, I caught over 40 fish. Okay, caught over 40 fish. My best 5 was right over 25 pounds. I caught a 705 and I caught a 6 even. And it's pretty incredible. Like, I just know in Arkansas, guys, I'm in Arkansas, okay? And this is a public lake. All right, anybody can fish it. There's 4 guys out there this day that I was fishing. And it's just pretty, this doesn't always happen this time of year, okay? And I know it's pretty, you know, like I said, you take these days, I don't take these days for granted, okay? And so I caught fish doing a variety of different ways, and that's what I'm going to just share with you guys. 2 of those ways, you're going to go and see the videos. I'm not going to go break it down totally. Now, after I made those 2 videos, I went and had some fun. As I say, I had some fun. I went graphing around because this lake I'm not that familiar with. It's still a new lake to me, not much history on it, okay? And so I went graphing around, and then of course found some fish. And I say found some fish, just we found some fish. They were big fish, and I caught the 6 and the 7 on a Dixie Jet Talon spoon. I've talked about it. It was one of my baits for the month of October for big fish, and guess what? Caught bigs with it. I also caught some 2 to 3 pounders on it as well. And then when I was fishing, like I said, for my fun part of the day, I caught a 4 1/4 on an Alabama rig. And then I also lost a bigger than those 2 that I caught on the spoon. It got off right near the boat. So luckily I caught the other 2, but I lost that one before I caught the other 2. So guys, that was this fishing trip. It was crazy. All right, just said it was wild. Anyway, I know I tell people this and they're just like, man, I like to have days like that. And I mean, hey, I like to have every fishing trip like that. And it doesn't always work this way. Because even the next day, we had a high school club tournament at a lake that I'm familiar with. Now, it came up 6 feet, all right, in like 36 hours. And man, it was tough that day. I mean, the biggest bass in this high school tournament, it was a club tournament, so it was our club on a lake with boat captains that they've all fished, okay? And so some of the kids fish it a lot, some are new, but man, like 3-4 was the biggest bass, and man, like one team might have caught over 10 fish, but man, there's only one limit weighed in out of 7 teams. I mean, so fall fishing's tough. Fishing can be tough no matter what time of year, but it's also, you have these good days as well. So guys, the other fishing trip I just like to share. The other fishing trip, that was in October. I was 15 years old. I think I was 14, 15, around there. I was 14 now, thinking about it. Yeah, so I was a 9th grader. Okay, this was a 9th grader. I was 14. So I was a 9th grader, and I went with my good friend at the time, still a friend of mine, but at the time, Trey Sow and his dad, Tom. Man, dude, Trey kind of got me into bass fishing and fishing in a boat. And not just say bass fishing, but fishing in a boat. And his dad, man, would take me with Trey, and at times Trey couldn't go, and I'd still go with Tom, man. If Tom's watched this, man, you know, you're one of my like 6 dudes that like, if I say 6, my 7, I don't know, that like have meant a lot to me to where I'm at today. And so Tom really good fisherman, and but Tom catches everything. He's one of those guys that, he don't just bass fish, he catches everything. So we fished the Arkansas River, and I think this was 2006, maybe 7. I'm thinking it's 2006. But it was right when Darren McFadden for the Razorbacks was pretty cool. Had a big game. It was like right when D-Mac, before he became D-Mac. It was one of his first big games. We beat Auburn. I remember us listening to it in the boat. But this fishing trip, we went to the Arkansas River. And we didn't get there at daylight. Got there probably about 11 or noon. Okay, for some reason, we got there middle of the day, and I probably right then should have learned that the fish always don't bite first thing in the morning. So we get there at the Arkansas River. Not going to say the pool, okay? And we get the Arkansas River, and man, the first couple hours was a little slow, but then when we found them, it was unbelievable. I think, and we fished till maybe about 6, 7 o'clock, but I caught 40 fish that day by myself, and I caught the least. Trey and his dad wore me out. I think Trey caught about 50. His dad, had to catch over 60. And it was just unbelievable. Most of the bass were spotted bass, okay? Most of them were 14, 15-inch spots, which are fun, and we caught a lot of them. There's some good 2 to 3 pounders mixed in, and I caught one that, was 5 pounds, and at the time, I remember when we caught it, I was 14, like I said, years old, and I just caught a 5-pounder in a pond a couple weeks ago, and man, they were like, Tom was like going like, hey, that's a big bass, that's a big spotted bass, and at the time, guys, I had no idea what I did. I was like, hey, it's a 5-pound bass, woohoo, right? And then, he told me about it, why it's a spotted bass, Kentucky bass, and I learned that right then. We've been catching all these fish, and I had just no idea, right? So, anyway, we kept it, and then we got it mounted. It's my only fish that's a real mount. All my other ones are replicas. And then, at the time, after I realized that, like, the Arkansas state record's like 7.5 pounds, and I just caught one that was almost 21 inches, okay? Big spotted bass. And at the time, I start kind of realizing, like, as the weeks went on, what I did, I just come to say, like, I kind of realized at the time, guys, like, hey, I did catch a big fish for this species, for this kind of black bass. And then what was neat about it, guys, I don't know if I've caught one over 4 pounds to this day, okay? Now, I don't fish in, like, small or spotted bass, like, world territory, right? I'm not, like, fishing Table Rock or fishing the Coosa River, but, guys, I've not caught one, I'm pretty sure, 4 pounds. I think even 3.5 since then, and that was 15 years ago, 16 years ago. So anyway, that day was special, okay? So then again, caught as many fish as we did, and that big a fish. And guys, just so you know, in October, remember I coached football, okay, for 12 years. Now as a high school coach, I could fish a little bit, but I didn't much. I did a lot of night fishing one year. And then during the COVID year with games getting canceled and everything, man, I got to fish Millwood quite a bit down here. And man, that 2020 fall, I know a few of you guys that got to be a part of it that might watch. We know it was unreal, okay, unreal the fishing we got to do. Even my good friend Michael, I remember one day teaching in class and him sending me pictures of the fish. Like we found the fish, caught them, and then they kept moving and we were following them. Like, we were going with them and out and I remember one day he just sent me pictures and I'm just like, wow. And then, I go out there 4 days later, catch them, but I didn't catch like a giant bag or 6, 7 pounders like I just did, okay? We're catching 4s, 5s. Michael caught a 7, if I remember right. Michael might watch this. He caught a 7. I think that's what he sent me, one of those pictures. But guys, back to the fall. I know I'm kind of going everywhere. My experience in the fall is a little limited with me being a football coach. When I coached college, there's no fishing in the fall. We're coaching and recruiting. That's it. No life. High school football coach, I got to go here and there, but it'd be for 2 or 3 hours, you might catch a good fish. But last year was really my first just getting a fish a lot in the fall as I got into this working with fish at the moment. And it kicked my butt. And I during the winter, spring, I'm kind of reevaluating, and I was, thinking, hey, how do I have a better fall? Because last fall, it was more tough than good. And right now, looking at September, October, I've had some good trips, I've had some bad trips. So that's one thing, guys, as anglers, you always need to reevaluate and go back and look at, like, hey, what could I have done different, or what can I do different, and study a little bit. And I know for me right now, it's kind of, I say it's been productive. My next 3 weeks can be bad. Here I am going to talk about it in my fishing trips, okay? But right now it's going good. And I think a lot of it is to me going back, studying, looking more at the patterns, and then evaluating it, or then applying it on the water, okay? And it helps being on the water. Time, guys, is the biggest thing. I had all those times last year. I think October, it was September, October last year, guys. There was 1 month I was on the water more days than I was not, okay? So during those days that I struggled, I took them and went back and learned from them, okay? So guys, appreciate it. Which fishing trip was better? Was it the one I had the other day ago, a couple days ago, giant bag, 40 fish, or was it the one back when I was a young kid, good friend's dad, who's meant a lot to me in just my fishing adventure, just my fishing kind of path? And I don't know, I'm thinking it was probably been that one on the Arkansas River, but man, the other day it was a sweet trip. So guys, let me know in the comments which one's better. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, and hopefully kept it on there. Hey, remember, come back to the channel for the next 2 videos, or one video is going to be on this channel. The other one will be on Declassified. I will see you there, and we'll see you on the next one.